Hello and welcome to today's episode on Rendezvous on Global TV. I am Sharon J and today we'll be talking about rape. We'll be exploring the different angles on rape and I'll be diving right with you after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Rendezvous. Today we'll be exploring all the angles of rape. Rape, as we all know, is one of the gender-based violence. It is a serious and harmful act where someone is forced to engage in sexual activities without their consent. It is an unlawful sexual activity, most often involving sexual intercourse against the will of the victim through force or threat of force, or with an individual who is incapable of giving legal consent because of minor status, mental illness, mental deficiency, intoxication, unconsciousness, or deception. The legal definition of rape has changed substantially since the late 20th century. The traditional definition was narrowed with respect to both gender and age. Rape was an act of sexual intercourse by a man with a woman against her will. As rape is now understood, a rapist or a victim may be an adult of either gender or a child, although rape can occur in same-sex intercourse. It is most often committed by a male against a female. There is also an increasing tendency to treat rape as an act of sexual intercourse by a husband with his wife against her will. Rape is often explained and excused as a manifestation of radical ethnical class hatred or stemming from patriarchal system in which women are viewed as properties of men. However, its origins, rape is a serious crime and is treated as a felony in most countries with common law systems. In many rape trials, the guilt or innocence of the accused hints on whether or not the victim consented to sexual intercourse. The psychological motivation of rapists are more complex than it was formerly thought. They may include the desire to punish, to gain revenge, to cause pain, to prove sexual prowess, to control, through fear. It is important to always respect and prioritize consent in any sexual encounter. Rape is attempted by people who do not respect the rights and autonomy of others. It is a violation of somebody's body and consent, causing immense harm physically, emotionally, psychologically. It is crucial to promote consent education, foster a culture of respect, and hold perpetrators accountable to prevent such heinous crimes. We'll be going on a short break, and by the time we return, we'll be talking on the forms of rape and its effects. So stay tuned. Oh, welcome back. Before the break, we're talking on we just explained, I gave a clear definition of rape. And from the definition, I hope we're able to understand that it is not just between a man, to a woman without our consent. It can also be the same sex. It can also be with a child, with an aged person, and all of that. Okay, right now we'll be talking on the forms of rape. And first we'll be going with number one, acquaintancy rape. I know we all felt like, okay, rape is just probably a stranger or something, but I'm telling you that it is even more than that. And we'll be diving right at it. I just want you to stay with me and, gain some insight from everything I have to, say at this point. So number one, it's acquaintance rape. It refers to a situation where the perpetrator is someone known to the survivor, such as a friend, classmate, co-worker. It involves non-consensual sexual activity, and it is a serious violation of trust and boundaries. It is important to raise awareness about the consent and support survivors of acquaintance rape. This form of rape is not even done. It's not something like a stranger, or maybe you have robbers, or probably on the street you have someone that doesn't know you, and because of the lust he has towards you, he ends up raping you. This is a kind of rape that involves people you trust. It could be your friend, it could be your co-worker, it could be your colleague, it could even be your father. Because we've heard cases of fathers raping their daughters and even getting them pregnant. Those kind of rape is called acquaintance rape. And of all form of rape, I think this is the most the most terrible kind, because this kind of rape is, is done by someone you love, somebody you respect, someone you trust. It's really heartbreaking, this form of rape. It's something that can really destroy someone's mental health. So in a case like this, I just want you to know that it is not just only strangers. In as much as you are trying to protect yourself from strangers by doing everything you need to do in order to avoid, people just rape and all of that, you need to know that even in your inner circle, there are people that are also terrible and can also rape you. And I'm not just referring to just the female angle, I'm referring to the males too. Because rape, yes, we have, on a scale of 1 to 10, we can say 9% of females are the ones that are being raped, and maybe like 2% of males are being raped. But when I'm talking about rape, I'm talking to both parties. So acquaintance rape can either be from the male side or the female side. I remember a situation one time when I was still in school. This girls' school, all-female school there in Nigeria, a male came to sell something to them, I think snacks or something. A very young boy, a teenager, about 13, 14, if I got the story accurately, he came to into the school to sell some things to them, and they took the boy to their hostel, like directed him to, okay, come into the hostel, come and sell this to us, we want to buy. And through that means they raped the boy. I think I don't know if it was recorded that the boy died after that or whatever. So this kind of scenario is trying to let you understand that it is not just females that are being raped alone. Males also are victims of rape. So you need to be extra careful around you, your colleagues, your co-workers, just be extra careful and do everything rightly. You need to know how to dress rightly, although that is not supposed to be a criteria, it's not supposed to be a reason why you need to be raped, but the devil can be very, very terrible. So you have to, do things rightly. Don't just leave yourself like that. Take all preventive measures. And for ladies out there, please, now they sell this pepper spray and all of that. Don't say you don't have money to buy. Do not prefer to just get makeups or get things that are not relevant. Try your best to also bring out money to buy things that would, protect you also. Even if you can get a pocket knife, I'll even suggest that pepper spray, it is very helpful. It is very helpful. It can come in handy. And the way they sell it now, if you go on Instagram, you go on Twitter, the way they sell it now, they sell it in like a key holder form. You know, nobody would even know, okay, this is pepper spray. If not you and the person you bought it from, or other persons that are using it, nobody would know it is pepper spray. So please and please, if you can get that, get it, and make sure it's something that is always in your purse. And that's why they made it very small. For those of you that don't like carrying, you know, very big bags and all of that, you can put it in your purse. For those that like very mini bags, they are very small ones. And you know, in any situation, because the truth is that you have to protect yourself. You don't expect, nobody will protect you. That's just the truth. Aside the government doing its best to put those criminals behind bars, you are the only person in the best position to protect yourself. So please and please, and as many that say, okay, they don't like pepper spray or whatever, you could like get a pocket knife, a very, you know, small pocket knife that you can fold and put in your purse. And see, sincerely, you need to know how to fight. You need to know how to fight. You know, I was scrolling through Google one day and I saw something just popped up, and I just, okay, let me look through it. And they said how to defend yourself. You know, many of you will go through that link. You will not even go through the link. The link will pop up and you just press that X. You know, that X at top of the link, you press it and you just go. Probably you want to watch a movie or something, download movie. You don't care to look at that part because you feel like you are safe, because nothing has happened to you. You feel like it cannot happen to you. The truth is that, see, we are in a world of, you know, criminals. That's just the truth. We are in a world filled with criminals. And if you do not know how to protect yourself, then who will? Nobody. Recently, a lady was, I think she's going viral now on Twitter. If she had an encounter with a guy that asked for a number, and she didn't give the guy the number. She told him no. Yes, she was on her right to tell him no, because you have the right to either want to give your number to anybody or not. This guy picked up a brick and, you know, smashed it on her face, like bashed her face, because he's just acting up. He can't handle rejection and all of that stuff. But other men were there. Other black guys were there. And it was just so surprising that a woman was harassed in such a manner, and the guys there couldn't do anything. She had to pick up her phone and she was crying, and, you know, she felt so sad, and she was wondering, like, she even, you know, she spoke to the guys. She said, how could you niggas be here and this guy picked up a brick to hit me, you know, to bash my face because I refused to give him my number, and you people are there. And you know, one of the black guys was like, what do you expect me to do? Like, what do you expect us to do? And she was like, I needed you guys to stand up as men. Like, I need you guys to stand up as men. You know, we are in a world right now that nobody cares about your safety. If you don't protect yourself, nobody will protect you. Recently, I was also scrolling through TikTok, and I came across a murder scene where a guy of, I think, about 20 years old was dating this girl of 16 in India. He just walked up to her. She was living in like an open space, like, you know, just roadside houses. And he walked up, like, I think she was coming out. He walked up to that place that she was standing, and he started, you know, choking her, like, it was stabbing her, rather. Sorry, it was stabbing her, and it was terrible. It was terrible. And all that, there were passerbys there, passing, and they didn't do anything. And that lady kept shouting and kept screaming, and he just did what he needed to do. He carried a very huge big stone and he bashed her with it 3 times. Like, we didn't see it, obviously, they didn't show her corpse. But from what the video that we watched, it is so glaring that that lady, or rather, it is, I have a feeling that her brain or her skull would have been bashed. And there were people there. There were people there. And from even the scene, it felt like she was running out, thinking that, okay, the passerbys would save her and all of that. But, well, she was not lucky enough. And it's just so terrible. So why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this to let you know that if you do not protect yourself, nobody else will. Don't think that because you have lovely neighbors and when something happens, then they will help you. No, you need to be able to stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Whenever you see the link of self-defense, please don't just walk away. Don't say, I'm not going to click on the link. It has not happened to me. Nothing can happen to me. Anything, my neighbors are very nice. I have good people around me. Anything I want to happen to me, they will definitely come to my head. I'm very sorry to tell you that people are not always like that. People would, people will shock you. So the best is just stand up for yourself and learn how to, learn how to stand up for yourself, learn self-defense. The second form of rape is marital rape. This refers to the non-consensual sexual activity that occurs within a marriage or intimate partnership. It is a violation of a person's autonomy and is considered a serious crime. Consent is essential in all relationships, including marriage, and it is important to recognize this issue of marital rape. Now, you know, most persons think or they feel or they are not aware that rape can actually happen in marriage. Especially we in Africa. Let's even narrow it down back to Nigeria. We just feel like if you are married, your husband owns your body. Even in church, I've been in a wedding when the pastor said, your body is for your husband. When you want it in the afternoon, you give him. When you want it in the night, you give him. When you want it in the morning, you give him. Now, you might just be talking from the point of view of probably submission or whatever, but other people might misinterpret it. Rape happens in marriage also. Rape happens in marriage. When your wife is not interested, she has not given the consent, please do not try to force yourself on her. For the fact that she's your wife does not mean that she doesn't have right to her own body. You know, some men can be so silly. They are rapists, but because they are married, they feel like, it's my wife, I should just do whatever. If you should force yourself on your wife, you are a rapist. You need to go to jail as much as the person that will just see someone on the road and rape person. The time the person needs to spend in jail is the same time you also need to spend in jail, because consent is the main, the main reason, or it's the main. About marital rape before the like I was saying earlier, marital rape, there is something as marital rape. We in Africa do not believe that there is something as marital rape. We feel like because I'm married to this woman, at any point in time, at any level, anything, anytime, I can just have my way with her. Please, that is a very, very terrible mentality. If you do that to your wife, you can do that to somebody outside. So yes, when you force yourself on your wife without her consent, that is rape. And if there are lots of men, especially the religious men, they'll say, okay, but she's my wife and she refuses to give me, sex, and she's always refusing. I've been without it for a while, and that is why I did that. Please, so it's totally, there is no reason whatsoever that can validate that raping your wife is good. There is no reason whatsoever. So please, we need to be mindful. We need to be mindful. Let's kill that mentality of I can force myself on my wife. With the quote, my wife, because she's my wife, I can force myself on her. That explains that if she was also your girlfriend without you, legally marrying her, and she refuses to have sex with you, you will force yourself on her. Please and please, let us. That consent, it is very valid. If you don't get the consent, kindly just leave her alone. Kindly leave her alone and let us kill that mentality. Next, we have date rape. This occurs when non-consensual sexual activities takes place during a social or romantic encounter. This kind of rape occurs with someone you're on a date or have a romantic relationship with. Now, I'll be throwing this to the ladies. I'm not even talking about the guys now. Many of you down dating apps and on, whatever apps that will just join you with a male, maybe to go out with a male or whatsoever. Please, you need to be careful. Before we even talked about before we brought the third point of date rape, we talked about marital rape. What on earth gives you the idea that if rape can happen in marriage, it cannot happen when I just meet someone newly and all of that? It doesn't work that way. You need to be extra careful. The fact that you met somebody or you've been chatting with the person, a week, month, and whatever, you've been chatting with the person, you feel like you know the person, and whenever you see the person or you go on a date with the person, the first thing that comes to your mind, or when the person asks you, okay, let us go to my house to go and chill and all of that, you don't even think of any. You feel like, okay, I've known this person, I can do what I want to do, and you end up being raped. Please and please, especially those that are dating app, you feel like you know this person, but I can assure you, you don't. Before you can comfortably say you want to go to somebody's house to go and do whatever you want to do, you should be, at least you should have, you know, maybe gone out to the person once, twice, or even 3 times. You know, you should be able to observe the person and know the kind of person he or she is. It is very unreasonable that you just, you know, just conclude that I know this person because I've been on, you know, been chatting for a while, and the first time we meet, then we just go to the house and do what. You have no idea who in short, you do not know the heart of human beings. You do not know their hearts. You can only see their physical, you know, look, but you don't know what is lying in their hearts. So please and please, to avoid any rape, any sexual harassment, or whatever, please and please, we need to be extra careful, extra careful. Get to know your person very, very well.